Hi yogis, welcome to today's practice. Today we're going to be practicing with a block for just a portion of the practice. So let's go ahead and find our block. Again, you can purchase them at Five Below. They're not expensive at all. If we don't have a block on hand, we could use something like a shoe box, maybe some sort of food box, something that's just about 5 or so inches wide. We'll go ahead and grab that now, and then we're going to start standing. Feet are going to be hip-width apart in mountain pose. So we're stacking our joints here. Our ankles are right underneath of the knees, directly underneath of the hips. We lengthen up out through the spine, out through the crown of the head, and we're going to open the palms to face the front of the room. Close the eyes and start to settle into our practice. So when we open those palms up to the front of the room, we want that rotation to continue all the way up through the shoulders, making sure we have a nice open chest, an open heart, feeling the muscles in the upper back contract, drawing the scapula towards one another. Dropping the chin ever so slightly just so that it's level and parallel with the floor. And then gently guiding that head back ever so slightly, stacking it right over the shoulders. So right here we should feel the weight of the entire body pressing from the crown of the head, down through the shoulders, down through the hips, stacking all the way through the knees, the ankles. Bringing our awareness into the present moment, stepping out of the moments that brought us here, and restraining ourselves from crawling into the moments that'll happen when we walk off of our mat. Softening in through the jaws, the eyes. And that core, that corset that we talk about from the belly, the obliques, and the back remains ever so slightly engaged to continue elevating the center line of the body all the way up to the heavens, gently tucking that tailbone under. Remaining present with whatever thoughts, whatever emotions may arise. Noticing maybe a little bit of discomfort with standing here, weight equally distributed on both feet, eyes closed. Maybe we feel ourselves swaying side to side, moving around ever so slightly. Those gentle movements, those slight movements, are just the body and the mind's way of trying to grab on to what's going on right here, right now. Reassure ourselves that everything's okay. We'll bring our hands to heart center, press the thumbs into the sternum, and then just gently drop the chin towards the chest. Nice gentle tug in the back of the neck. Inhale, let's circle sweep the fingers up to the sky. We're going to grab onto that right wrist and then just gently tug over to the left. You might feel a couple cracks in the spine. Beautiful, get some space in the back. And then take that arm, drop it down in front of the chest, recenter the shoulders and the front of the body with the mat, and then tug that arm across the front of the body at about a diagonal. Careful, if our wrist is a little sensitive, we could hold onto the forearm instead. Take those hands, interlace them behind the back, lengthen the arms, and then we're going to take those fists outside of the left hip. Pull the left elbow in and drop the opposite ear to the shoulder. Big breath here. Inhale. On the exhale, start to round the chin towards the chest, gently guiding the left ear to the left shoulder. Another inhale here, and exhale, the chin draws back down to the chest. Right ear to right shoulder. Release the hands. Inhale, reach the arms up, this time grabbing onto that left wrist, tugging over to the right. Try to roll the left shoulder back. Keep everything nice and stacked. Big breath into the left side of the body, and then we're going to drop that arm down in front of us, centering the shoulders and the chest back out with the front of the mat. Continue to tug that arm away from the body and back towards the body at the same time. So we're tugging it towards the right, but also guiding it back. Should feel a nice open and stretch in through the shoulder here, the outside edge of the arm. And release. Hands interlace behind the back. This time, take the opposite hand on top. So if we're used to crossing maybe the right hand on top, right thumb on top, let's switch it the opposite way. And just take a second, acknowledge our discomfort with that type of change. It's such a small change, but it makes us feel really uncomfortable, right? Just acknowledge that. Take those fists outside of the right hip, pull the elbow in, and then drop the left ear to the left shoulder. Big breath in, and then on the exhale, the chin rounds down towards the chest, gently guiding the right ear to the right shoulder. Another big inhale, and the exhale will drop the chin to the chest one last time. Left ear to left shoulder. Very nice. Release. Take our feet a little bit wider than hip width apart. We're going to bend into the knees and just start to rock side to side, swing side to side. Let the arms be heavy and loose. So if you've ever seen those toys, continue swinging side to side, that little kids use, it's a drum with the string and a little ball on the opposite side. When you move it in between your hands, it starts to bang onto the drum. So we're doing something similar with ourselves. Let those hands hit into the sides. Great way to bring some blood flow to the body. Great way to activate those organs in the core. Be gentle, not too hard. Bringing some motion into the knees, the hips, the shoulders, the spine. And then start to slow down. Very nice. And come to standing still. Let's take that block or shoebox, whatever we happen to have, and we're going to place it in between our thighs. So our feet, should be hip width apart here. And we're going to move into chair pose. So notice here how our inner thighs grip into the block. Actively grip that block with the thighs. Keep the knees stacked right under the hips and activate the thighs by drawing the kneecaps up. We're going to inhale, scoop the arms up. Right biceps are right next to the ears, and then exhale, sit the hips back. So we're in this lightning bolt shape. I'm going to turn sideways to show you. So the highest point of our lightning bolt are the fingers. We drop down to the shoulders, down to the hips, the knees, the ankles. Trying not to round the heart forward. Continue to draw those shoulders back. Exhale, sweep the palms back and down, and then inhale, sweep them up, still keeping that bend in the knees. Exhale, scoop back. Inhale, scoop up. Last time, exhale, and inhale. Bring those hands to heart center, lengthen the legs, come to standing, and then drop the palms down, face forward next to the hips. Mountain pose again. Roll the shoulders back. A few breaths. This time, let's bring those hands to heart center. We're going to sit back into our chair once more. Remember, even if we go lower into that chair, the lowering doesn't happen in the heart. The lowering happens in the hips and the knees. That heart always stays nice and elevated. Thumbs press into the sternum. So pretending like we're a little spring here. As we exhale, we lengthen just a little bit. Inhale, sink a little deeper. Remember, the movement happens in the hips, the ankles, and the knees. Inhale, lengthen, and sink. Last time, lengthen, and sink. Drop those hands down to the earth, lengthen the legs. We'll remove the block. So this is a great opportunity. If we need that block underneath the hands, we can place it there. Hang out in forward fold for a minute. Make sure we're at the top of our mat, so we may need to move ourselves. Feet are still stacked underneath of the hips. Take a deep bend into that right knee. Left leg stays straight. And then we're going to walk the hands to the outside of the right foot. So I'm going to turn and face you. If you want to take a peek, it's going to look like this. If we want to use a block, the block is outside of the right foot. So we should feel a nice stretch through the left outside edge of the leg. And release, lengthen both legs, come back to our forward fold. Inhale, peel up to our flat back, push out for the crown of the head. Exhale, round down. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, release. This time bending into that left knee. Block could come outside of the left foot, and the hands are going to walk to the outside of the left foot. Keep the heart and head low. Upper body is heavy and soft. And release back into our forward fold. Walk those feet together. Take a deep bend in the knees so that the chest and belly rest on the thighs. And then we're going to come back up to chair pose, hands at heart center. Inhale, left fingertips reach back. Find that twist in the spine. Make sure that that left knee doesn't gravitate backwards. Keep the knees nice and level. And come back to center. Exhale. Inhale, right fingertips reach back. Exhale. Inhale, open up. Exhale to center. Last time, inhale, right arm. Exhale to center. Inhale, sweep the arms up to the sky. Exhale, release, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, round down. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, step that right leg all the way to the back of the mat. Drop the right knee. Bring the hands to heart center. Find the shoulders stacked over the hips. Knees stacked, left knee, stacked over the left ankle. So what we don't want here is we don't want to square everything off here because then we're not getting that nice stretch into the right hip flexor. We want to scooch that right knee back. Even if it's just a little bit behind the hip, that's fine. Just try not to let it stack directly underneath. Keep that pelvis tucked under. Drop the right hand to the earth. Reach the left fingertips up to the sky. Continue to breathe. Left fingertips start to move back. Rounding down towards the earth. Scooping forward in a circle. And then reach back up to the sky again. One more time, gaze following those fingertips. Move back, down, forward, and up. Left hand comes down. Step that left knee back to meet the right in our modified plank. So remember, shoulders are over wrists, knees are behind hips. Slowly start to lower the heart. Elbows move back, not out. And we release all the way to the earth. Inhale, peel up to our baby cobra. Press the tops of the feet into the mat. Peel the shoulders back. Lift the hands up off of the floor. Hands come down under those shoulders. Pull the elbows in. Push up. Hinge back. Extended child's pose. Let the belly round over those thighs. Try to let the head either rest on the earth, on stacked fists, or a block. Remember, I always keep my head elevated just so you can hear my voice. Inhale, lift back up to modified plank. Tuck the toes to plank and hold here just for a moment. Check out our alignment. Feet are hip width apart. Shoulders are over the wrists. And then exhale, we lift those hips, find down dog. Start to pedal the feet out. Alternate releasing one heel to the mat, then the opposite knee. Sway in through those hips. And then lengthen both legs. So if we were to move our head side to side, our ears would touch our biceps, right? And then we'll take our feet, start to walk them forward to the top of the mat. Forward fold, exhale here. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, round down. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Reach the hands up to the sky. Hands to prayer, to heart center. Inhale, circle sweep up. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, round down. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, left leg moves all the way back, dropping that knee. Remember, place the knee behind the hip. And then we sit up, stack the shoulders over the hips, hands to heart center. Feel that stretch in the left hip flexor this time. Left hand drops down to the mat. Inhale, right fingertips sweep up. Left hand moves back to the room, making that, right hand moves back to the room, making that circle. Right hand moves to the earth, sweeps forward, and then reaches back up to the sky, stacking over the shoulder. And then last time, gaze follows. Right hand moves back, down, forward, and up. Right hand drops, right knee moves back to meet the left into that modified plank. Slowly lower the heart, release all the way down. This time we're going to move into locust pose. So those legs are magnetized towards one another. Those ankles try to touch, the heels try to touch, the inner thighs are always touching. Pulling in towards one another, starting off with the tops of the feet pressing into the mat. Hands reach alongside the body, palms face in. When we inhale, we lift the legs and lift the heart. So if this bothers our lower back, we could try just lifting the heart. Inhale, lift and hold. Holding the pose and never the breath. Allow that breath to push the belly into the earth. Again, massaging those internal organs. Grip the inner thigh together. And release all the way down. Beautiful. Hands come underneath of those shoulders. Elbows move in, push up, hinge back, extended child's pose. We're going to take the hands and just walk them off the left side of the mat. Right hand stacks on top. It's a big stretch for the right side body. Big inhale. Exhale, come back to center. Inhale, hands walk off the right side of the mat. And come back to center. We're going to come up to Hero's Pose just for a moment, and then I'm going to show you a side view of this and then turn to face you. We're going to come up, stacking the knees right underneath the hips, so you might need to open those knees a little bit wider than they were. Tuck the toes under, and then walk those knees back towards one another. We're going to sit the hips back onto the heels, okay? So this might feel incredibly uncomfortable for some people. It might feel incredibly painful. We want to acknowledge the difference between uncomfortable, discomfort, and painful. If it's painful, we don't do it. We'll untuck those toes, have a seat. We could also take a break every once in a while by untucking those toes. If it's uncomfortable, that's okay, because remember, with discomfort comes change. What we want to do is we want to stretch out the bottoms of those feet, stretch out through the toes, get some openness through the soles of the feet. Now I'm going to turn and face you. So right here, we're going to take the palms, reach them out, palms face in towards the center line of the body, and we're going to make fists with both hands. Thumbs are on the insides of the fists, okay? So palms are still facing towards the center of one another. From here, we're going to start to point those knuckles down, just getting a stretch along that thumb, maybe up into the forearm. Shoulders stay down. And release. Roll out the wrists, untuck the toes, and have a seat. Roll the shoulders back a few times. Move the head side to side. Very nice. Roll forward, find all fours. Extend the legs, and we'll find our down dog. Pedal the feet out again. And then we're going to walk the hands back towards the feet. Forward fold at the back of the mat. Again, notice any discomfort with changing where we stand on our mat. Take a deep bend in the knees, tuck the tailbone under, slowly roll up one vertebrae at a time. Come all the way up to standing. So we're going to move into the spine a little bit more. We're also going to get a little balance challenge here. So I'm going to come to the center of my mat. You stay on the back. But I'm going to turn to face you. We're going to lift the right thigh up so that it's parallel to the earth. Hands can be on the hips. Maybe this is where we stay, okay? Pressing out through the sole of that foot. If we'd like a little bit more, maybe we grab the outer edge of the knee with the left hand. Gaze could remain forward. Again, if we'd like more, Let that gaze slowly start to turn towards the right shoulder. So to maintain that balance, we press into that left big toe. Pull up through the pelvic floor. Guide the belly button towards the spine. Head comes back to center. Then we're going to take that knee with the right hand. Left hand comes to the hip. Again, staying here, or maybe slowly starting to open that knee out to the side. Come back to center and release down. Beautiful. Shake it out. Take fists and just start to hammer onto those thighs. Hammer on the outside where the IT band is, the tops where the quads are. Gentle, don't hit the knees. Maybe the inside of the thigh. Get some good blood flow going there. And then we'll come back up to standing. This time, bringing the left thigh parallel, flex into the foot, hands are onto the hips. Again, maybe this is where we choose to stay, or we could take the right hand outside of the knee, keeping the gaze and the heart forward, or starting that twist all the way from the base of the spine up through the crown of the head, pressing into the big toe. Slowly, gaze comes back to center. And then maybe grabbing the knee with the left hand. Staying still, staying straight. And then opening that knee out to the side. And then coming back to center. Release that leg. Shake both legs out. Once again, making those fists. Hammering out on the thighs, the outsides of the legs, and around to the insides. Beautiful. So right now we should be at the back of our mat. Inhale, circle sweep the arms up. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Walk the hands back out to find plank, and then our last down dog of the day. Pedal the feet out. And then we'll drop our knees, finding all fours. Knees and hips are aligned, shoulders and wrists are aligned. Inhale, dip that belly down, roll the heart open to the front. It's cow. Exhale, scoop that belly up, finding cat. Inhale, open. And exhale, close. Flowing a few more times, any movements that feel organic, so maybe we start to move in through the elbows. Maybe we rock into the hips. It's your practice, not mine. Just a little bit of a tour guide. And then come to that neutral spine. Wag the tail side to side, maybe glancing over the shoulders. Very nice. And then we'll come to seated, toe to toe, heel to heel for Baddha Konasana. Open those knees wide, let the soles of the feet open like the pages of a book, trying to get the heels as close to the groin as we can, okay? Our knees may look like this. That's normal. We practice, and we generally convince the inner thighs to lengthen and to soften. Sit up nice and tall here, and then focusing on drawing the heart towards the toes, keeping a straight spine. Shoulders don't need to join the party. They can stay back and down. Our shoulders never have anything interesting to say to the ears, so remember to keep them away. Lifting back up, very nice. Lengthen both legs. We could use a strap here if we'd like to, but we don't need to, because remember, it doesn't matter if we can reach the soles of feet. What we're trying to do is keep a straight spine and draw the heart towards the thighs. So inhale, reach the arms up, get a long spine, and then hinging forward at the hips, we drop down. I like to grab the backs of my calves, and that, using that leverage to help pull my heart down closer to the legs. Remember, shoulders have nothing nice to say to the ears, so if we try to reach for the toes, they're going to try to join the party. And come back up. Place those hands behind us, bend into the knees. Feet are wider than hip width apart, and then windshield wiper those knees side to side. Loosen into that lower back. Beautiful. We're going to make our way onto the earth, so knees to the sky, feet on the mat. Tuck the tailbone, slowly roll down one vertebrae at a time. Make sure to bring that block with you. So our feet are hip width apart, right underneath of those knees, trying to get those heels close to the glutes. And we're going to take that block and place it in between the inner thigh again. So moving into bridge, palms face down next to the hips. Inhale here, exhale, lift the pelvis, grip the blocks. This keeps the knees from splaying open. Gaze stays up. And slowly release back down. Inhale here, and exhale, lift up one last time. And release back down. Take the block, remove it from the thighs, take the knees, hug them in towards the chest, and rock side to side. Whoops. Opposite hand on opposite knee. We're going to make big circles moving in one direction. Opposite directions for those knees if it feels nice. And then switch. So if we move the knees in the same direction, it's a little massage for the lower back. If we move them in the opposite direction of one another, it's more of a massage or a stretch for the inner thigh. So it's yogi's choice, whichever feels better in your body right now. Back to that neutral spine. Take a minute, close the eyes, and breathe. And then very slowly, we're going to make our way back up to a comfortable seat. So recommending here, if we feel like our hips are a little tight, we could always choose to sit up on a block. It helps get the hips nice and high, lets the knees fall open a little bit more. Just a suggestion. This could be done at the beginning of practice, at the end of practice. Anytime we feel like we need just a little more space in those hips, roll the shoulders back and stack them right over top of the hips. We might need to lean back ever so slightly. And with the eyes closed, just taking stock of what's going on in our body, what's going on in our mind. So remembering that things never happen to us. Things happen around us, and we choose to react to them. So the perfect example is the sign behind me fell, right in the middle of recording. I'm not going to stop recording. I'm not going to start a new video. That's just what happens. Sometimes you've seen my cat walk in. Sometimes you've heard my dog bark in the background. These things aren't happening to me. They're happening while I might be trying to accomplish something. And instead of ruffling our feathers and getting frustrated and flustered, we choose to take a breath and remember that the world spins on around us. We could choose to try to keep it still and remain frustrated and angry, or we could choose to spin along with it. And go with the flow, as they say. We'll bring our hands to heart center, thumbs press into the sternum. Inhale, fingertips and chin lift up to the sky. And exhale, hands come back down to heart center. I thank you so much for sharing a little bit of your day with me. The divine light in me sees and honors the divine light in you. Namaste.